TJ, and this is the Misfit Show podcast. And on this episode, we have a very special guest. He goes by the name of Jarv. He's an incredible MC from the US of A, and I'm really happy to have him on the podcast. We talk about how he first got into music, his passions growing up, his life experiences, and some of the craziest things that he's seen on the road. It's a really good episode, so I hope you enjoy it. So check it out. Welcome to the Music Misfit Show. And this week we have a very, very special guest. He is an awesome producer, beat maker, and an incredible MC. He goes by the name of Jarv. What's up, my man?
What up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you on the show. Happy to have you here.
Happy to be here. My
pleasure. You've moved to Brooklyn recently, haven't you?
Yes, sir. The big BK.
Sound. I want to ask. I want to take it back a bit. What made you want to get into music?
Well, I've been into music my whole life. I actually remember once being like, I was probably like 6 or 7 years old, and I remember I have older sisters, 2 older sisters, like way older. One's 7 years older, one's 9 years older. So I grew up with them, like watching MTV and shit. And I remember seeing rap on MTV and being like, man, I want to be a rapper. But I remember clearly having the thought, like, I don't know enough words yet, but one day I'm going to know enough words to write raps. And here I am. Like, even on my fucking, like, when I was in 3rd grade, we had it was just my 10-year high school reunion, like last summer. And one of the kids who I grew up, like, I went to the same school, kindergarten to 12th grade, the same fucking school. And one of the kids I grew up with sent me a picture of a thing that we did in 3rd grade, where it's like my school, it's all of our class photo. And it's like, says my name. And then it says, when I grow up, I want to be, and I wrote a rapper. It's like little me in 3rd grade, just fucking calling it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a rapper. And I'm 29 now and I'm a rapper. It's kind of sick. But yeah, I just, mainly my older sisters were the reason I think I wanted to make music. Like, just the shit that they were listening to, and like video games like Tony Hawk and Grand Theft Auto and shit. Like, they all had the best music, and I just loved hip hop and like punk and shit since I was a little kid.
Yeah, the soundtracks and the Tony Hawk's games and that, they were tight.
Bro,
definitely.
So sick. Like Pro Skater 3. That was like, I remember my sister made me my first mix CD. I always tell this story, but a handful of the songs were from Pro Skater 3. Like Del the Funky Homo Sapien song, If You Must. I had that on there. I fucking love that shit. I can't even think of any other ones that were in the game, but I know if I play that game today, I'd be like, oh, fuck, this song. Like, damn, like this song's on there too. And like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, I think. 1 or 2 had like Public Enemy, like Bring the Noise and shit. Like, that was my first time hearing Public Enemy. Like,
that,
I don't know.
Was it the Anthrax version? The
yeah,
version.
I think it was. Yeah. Bring the noise.
Oh, that was so good. I remember that's bringing back loads of memories.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite? Who was your favorite player?
To play with in those games? Pro Skater 1, I would always be Kareem Campbell. And Pro Skater 2, I do not remember who I used to be in Pro Skater 2. Number 3, I don't even remember in number 3 either. I wouldn't even, because when I was little, I didn't like know who the skaters were half the time. I would just be like, this guy's got cool clothes on, I'll be him, or whatever, So I would probably, if I played it today, being like that, I started skateboarding in like 6th grade, so I was playing those games probably mostly a little bit earlier, probably like 2nd, 3rd, 4th. But yeah, if I played those old school Tony Hawk games now, I'd be like, oh, that's who that is. Like, I probably would be like, to me, he was just the guy with the fucking red pants on or some shit,
Yeah.
It was funny, when I was little, I remember I hated Jeff Rowley. But now I like love him, and he's like one of the best of all time. But back in the day, I think just because of how he looked, in Tony Hawk. And I was just learning how to read. I think I thought his name was Geoff. And I'm like, what kind of fucking name is Geoff? Fuck this guy. I was an idiot. I remember I used
Chad
to read
Muska all day.
Oh,
Chad
bro,
Muska all
Muska
day.
was the shit.
Christ
But,
there, man.
yeah, and he had the fucking backpack on.
Yeah.
Or Chad Muska's special. Didn't he pull out a boombox or something? He had like a grind where he'd pull out a boombox.
No, it was Christ there, wasn't it?
Was it Chad Muska?
I could
or was
be
that
wrong.
like Bucky Lasek or something?
Oh no, maybe it was Bucky. Yeah.
Might have been Bucky, because that does not sound like Chad Muska's like a street dude. He's like,
yeah.
I know at least in one of the games he was in, he pulled out a boombox for a special move.
Yeah,
but I didn't know how to do it because I was a little kid, so I was just like mashing buttons. But
that's how you do it. You just mash the buttons, get the specials accidentally. Accidentally
once
did
in a while
something
you
cool.
accidentally hit it. Yeah, when you accidentally hit it, it's like, holy fuck, dude, what did I do?
Have you played the Skate game?
Oh yeah, I mean, Skate was the shit. Skate 1 and 2, I loved. Skate 3, I thought they fell off big time. But the new shit called Session. Have you heard of Session?
No.
It's like hella realistic. It's so sick. It's super fucking hard, but it's like so realistic. It's sick. It's like it's really hard, but skateboarding's really hard. So it's like, you work to get like your trick, and when you get it, it's like, shit, like you know what I mean? It's sick, and you can totally adjust like all the physics, all the settings you can fuck with, which is pretty sick. That's what I've always wanted. Like that's kind of why I stopped playing Tony Hawk at a certain age, because like once I started skateboarding, I was like, this shit is, why the fuck am I grinding the power lines and like jumping over a helicopter? This shit is fucking stupid. I mean, it's classic now, but like I always wanted them as realistic as you could make it was what I wanted. So now it's like they finally got it. So pretty sick.
Before I ask you the next question, I'll tell you a very, very quick story about Skate. The first time I played it at my mate's, we were playing the game Hall of Meat. And I'd literally never played it before. And then I jump off the thing and I just mash the buttons, and all of a sudden, like, I hit a glitch and my guy just goes like flying into about 10 different buildings, and I cracked like a high score, and everybody who was there was like, whoa!
You just broke every bone.
Yeah. And he just kept going and going.
That's fucking hilarious. Damn. Yeah, Skate did used to have a bunch of glitches. I remember you could do one where you like put the board down, or there was one where you could jump off anything and like you just like tap the triggers and he'll like not fall, like you can land it or something. I don't know, some shit like that. So I remember there was one you could drop the board and do something, and I think it might have like blasted him into the air or something, or he like started going really fast or like some shit like that.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
So obviously, like you said, since a very early age, you always wanted to be a rapper. But I want to ask you, do you use any like SP 404 or anything, or samplers?
Yeah, for sure, dude. I have Machine Plus here, which I make most of my shit on, and then I have SP 303 here.
Nice.
I mainly just use this for like the compressor because it's got the classic compression sound. It's fucking sick. And I have the 404. I don't use the 404 as much as I'd like to. I've only made like a handful of beats on it, but I learned how to make beats on machines, so that's just like what I'm used to. So it's kind of hard to fucking teach an old dog new tricks, you know what I mean? But
talk about your journey of going through that and how you got started.
Well, I mean, the first songs I ever made were on like GarageBand. I was in like 9th grade, so it was probably like 2009, and I was just making like fucking shitty beats with the loops that like the Apple loops that they had in there. And then I made like a comedy song with one of my friends, and it was like real crass, like real crazy about like fucking girls. And we were both like virgins at the time, so it's funny, but it was some crazy shit. And he was from a real Christian family, and we made a whole music video and everything on YouTube. And his family saw it, and I think they thought I was the fucking Antichrist or something, and they said that he couldn't hang out with me anymore. And we like my family would take a trip to like Florida every other year, and he was set. He even had a plane ticket and everything to go with me, and it was going to be in like a couple weeks. And his mom was like, "I don't think he's going to be going on the trip with you." And I'm like, "What?" And then I didn't see him for like months. And he was like we were chilling like every weekend. He was like my best bro at the time. So it was pretty crazy. That was the first song I ever made. And then I don't know. I think 10th grade I started. That kind of like scarred me. I didn't make anything for a little while. I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, I'm making waves here." But then 10th grade I started making like joke songs again. And me and a couple of my homies in school were making some like funny rap shit. In 11th grade, I got my first machine, the first generation. I saw this dude Jeremy Ellis. They had a video of him like doing some finger drumming shit. He's like nasty with it. And I was like, "Wow, that looks dope. I want to get one of those." So I got it and had no idea what the fuck I was doing, just like kind of figured it out slowly, and was making joke songs still kind of, but some like more serious rap shit, like trying to spit a little bit. And then my senior year, I was just like, "Yeah, let's go. I'm fucking rapping now." So since like 2012, I've been trying to do it, trying to do it for real. But I still make funny shit sometimes. I fuck around, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because like your drums on the Amalgam, the drums and the instrumentation is like really, really spat and really crisp. You've done a really good job on that.
Thank you, bro.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely. And I want to ask you, what would you say like your favorite like BPM to rap to is?
Pretty much between like 90 and 100 is like my sweet spot, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I mean, I fuck with some shit like that's like, 88, 80, 85 to wherever, but also some fast beat. I like some fast shit like 110, 115 sometimes. Get a little styling on some fast shit a little bit. But it's fun because sometimes a fast beat, you don't have to rap fast. You know what I mean? You can kind of like do a chiller rhyme, but it seems like hype just
Yeah.
because the beat's fast, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like most of the music you hear today, most like popular hip hop is like, like trap beats, which are like slow as fuck. And the dudes are like rapping slow, but if you just doubled the beat, it would seem, I don't know. I wish they would sometimes. The music would be a lot more fun. That shit is like boring to me half the time.
Yeah. What do you make of like hip hop nowadays?
I think there's a lot of dope shit, but you have to like look for it. Obviously, like the shit on the radio is fucking trash most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some like mainstream shit that's good, like Anderson .Paak's dope, but he's not even like really hip. I mean, it's kind of like soul music. I don't know if I would call it hip hop, but
kind of a bit of psychedelic funk in there, you know?
right, and obviously
Yeah.
like Kendrick's cool and everything, but it's not. He's definitely not like my go-to, but I'm not. But I ain't mad at his shit at all. You know what I mean? He's a great rapper, and like J. Cole and all that stuff is good. I think JID is fucking dope. He's like a mainstream-ish dude that's like really fucking killing it.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. You know JID?
No, I don't think
He's
so.
like he's part of like J. Cole's crew, I think.
Yeah. I like the boom bap, stuff.
Yeah,
I like
bro. Me too.
the underground, and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That
for
that
sure,
type
for
of
sure.
rapper, and yeah,
Yeah,
obviously, yeah.
there is a lot of shit like that today. That's fucking good, man. Like I got a homie Dylan. He's the shit. He's got a little indie label out of Atlanta called Full Plate. They're all super dope. His homie Day Tripper is part of this group called The Difference Machine. They just put out an album that's really fucking sick. Who else? I'm drawing a fucking blank, but some dudes in the UK who make great fucking beats and shit. Like this dude George Fields is dope as fuck, beat maker. This dude Alex DeLarge. It's Alecs.
Shout out Alex DeLarge. He's
Yeah.
been on the show.
Oh, dope, dude. That's
Yeah.
that's the man right there.
Yeah, He's actually the reason I bought a sampler.
Really?
He came into the station on a live show, and yeah, he plugged his sampler straight in, and it was such a thick like analog sound, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
That's
shout out.
fucking dope. Yeah, he's the man, dude. His beats are like some of my like he's probably my favorite producer today that I know of, like in the fucking world.
Oh, nice.
My homie SK from Vermont is also insanely dope beat maker. ES hyphen K. He's nice. He's got some crazy fucking dope shit. And we're actually working on a project slowly but surely. We're working on some shit where it's like we're recording it straight into a 4-track tape recorder, and he's making like no computers involved, and like he'll be like doing the beats live, and I'm just like spitting in the mic live, and the shit sounds like crazy, like some old dusty ass like early 90s fucking demo tape shit. And I've always wanted to make some stuff like that. Like I like the shit that doesn't sound like hella polished, you know? Like my album Flow Stimulus, which is my previous one. Like I fucking love, I mean I love my new album too, but like the last shit, probably just because I didn't make the beats on it, so I don't judge it as hard. Like when I make the beats, I'm like, I fucking suck. I hate one. You know what I mean? I'm always like, I mean, I like my shit, but I'm always like so analytical. You know what I mean? Where sometimes I think if you don't know all the steps that went into making the shit, you can kind of hear it with a more like. Sometimes you can be more objective with it without like knowing all the fucking ins and outs of how the beat was made. But so Pajama Sam made that beat, and I made all the beats on that album, and I recorded the raps with a fucking stage mic, and it's got like a sound to it that a lot of shit doesn't have. That it's like gritty hip hop sound. That's what I like. That fat fucking, you know,
definitely
warm tone.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anyways, Alex DeLarge is the man. That's
yeah. And talk about your new album. I've just my voice.
The Amalgam.
The Amalgam. What does it mean? The Amalgam.
An amalgam is like it's like a mixture of things to make one thing. I think. I don't know. I'm no fucking scientist, but it's like a compound kind of. I don't know. But to me, I'm like the amalgam. It's like the mixture of all the things that made me who I am or whatever, made my style the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like a fucking rap nerd and shit. Like, but obviously there's an array of things that made me like that, you know, like skateboarding and graffiti and all this shit that I'm into. It plays a part.
Yeah.
You know. So that's kind of like the fucking the idea behind it. But really it's just the album of good fucking hip hop shit. If you like rapping and you like good beats, classic style shit, then this album might be for you.
Definitely. Talk about the day when you recorded the video for Blue.
Oh shit, dude. That was a fun day. We so my video Blue was shot and directed by this dude, Ben Pro. He did, I don't know if you know Token or like Joyner Lucas. He did all their videos, and he's the fucking man. Like in New England, he's by far like the best. I think like the best videos that I've seen that I know of that are coming out of New England are that dude's. And yeah, I just got there early that day. We fucking I showed up to the studio the night before. He's got like a big fucking legit studio, and they were already like building the set. The set was all, you know, like the bedroom scenes. It's all fucking blue. And I just got in. I kind of helped them like paint shit blue and stuff, and we got everything set up. Woke up early the next day and just got shooting. And we had to shoot the because in the video, obviously, I turned blue. I'm fully fucking blue. And there are some scenes where I'm in the room where I'm not blue. So it's weird. We had to like shoot it out of order to like, so I had to be in the room not blue. And then we had to time it out where I like turned blue. I don't know, whatever. I'm getting into the weeds here. But anyways, I got painted blue. twice in one day. It was sick. It was fun.
Nice.
The most fun part of the whole thing was like at the end of the video when like the credits roll and it's me like walking around in public and I like order a hot dog and shit and like go into the 7-Eleven. Like that shit was fun. Like walking around town. Like we filmed that in Manchester, New Hampshire, and like the bars had just closed. So like everybody's on the street and shit, and I'm just like, they're like, why are you blue? I'm like, what are you talking? What do you mean? I don't know. It was funny. Good
Hey.
shit.
Yeah, and you look like you're having fun going down the slide and that and the swings.
Yeah. Those scenes were fun too. Fucking around in the playground. Yeah, it was fun.
And I want to ask you to talk about your lyrics. You say you're looking for happiness in all the wrong places. Half of me wants love, the other wants to run bases. Can you talk about that?
Well, I'm just an old pussy hound. No, really, that's what it is, dude. It's like, you know, I mean, especially at that time, really, I wrote that song a while back, a couple years ago, honestly. But you know, the way shit works, it's like one thing's for this album, one thing's for this one. But at that time, especially, I was like, uh, you know, you'll be like, what, should I get in a serious relationship or should I keep trying to fuck around with these hoes or or like, you know, even now, like I'm in a serious relationship now, but you know, I still have times when I'm like, man, if I was single, I see my homies like fucking like, you know, fucking around like on Tinder and shit, and I'm like, God, that looks so fun. God damn it. I'm like, I'm in New York. I could be crushing it right now. I could be fucking slaying chicks, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a good boy, so but it is a mental dilemma, you know. It's like half me wants love, the other wants to hit home runs. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But
I feel you, dude.
it's tough. It's hard out here, bro. But then I know I'm like, if I was to like be like I'm gonna be single and then I just fuck a bunch of girls, then I'm gonna be all lonely. Like being in a relationship has its perks, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then being single has its perks too. So it's tough. It's tough. It's just a mental struggle every day.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah,
it's
man.
good. I like my girlfriend's awesome. So if she
But yeah, I
sees
know.
that,
I completely get what you're saying. You know, sometimes you look at the other side. Like obviously, the old cliche saying is the grass is always greener, but
exactly.
it isn't really. You know, both have its perks and have
Right,
its
right,
disadvantages. And yeah,
right.
man, it was yeah,
But I
really
think
crap.
the lows of being single, like when you're just hooking up with girls, like the loneliness. It's just been so long since I've done it, so I tend to forget. But I can remember when I really think about it, like back when I was just fucking around and like, you know, you don't really have a connection. You're just like, it's fun while you're doing it, and then you like bust a nut, and then you're like, all right, are you gonna go? Because like I don't, this is like I don't like you. Please leave.
Yeah, it's
And it
like
just feel
before.
you feel like kind of bad. I don't know.
Yeah, before like yeah, because before you have the urge, don't you? You're just like, I want to get it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You're like, this
You
is
know,
sick.
because
Yeah, and then it's
obviously
like, oh god.
you're talking about like blue balls, and I feel like my NUTs are gonna bust and stuff like
You're
that.
right. Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then afterwards, you're like, oh, it wasn't really a connection. I just wanted
yeah. I'm
to
like, was
fuck.
it worth it? I'm like, God. And then I remember I always. I mean, I would be smart about it. I would wrap it up. You know what I mean? But I would still be like, what if I got it? What if I got her pregnant?
Yeah,
Oh, and I'd be like, this bitch. What if I got this chick? What if she fucking locks me down for 18 years? This chick. So that was always a fear. So you know, I don't have to deal with that with my
yeah,
girl. That's nice. Don't have to
yeah,
worry about getting fucking AIDS. That's good too.
totally. Yeah, man. I recently seen your post about your song "Can't Stay." Can you talk about that?
Yeah,
And your second verse as well in that song.
yeah. So the song can't say the second verse is it's just like a chronicling of the first rap I ever wrote. I was in like fifth grade. I know I said the first song I ever made was like ninth grade, but the first time I wrote a rap, I was in fifth grade, and it's just like I have such a vivid memory of writing that first rhyme. I remember it so clearly, and yeah, that's just what that verse is about. But I think it's one of the best verses I've written. It's like vivid. I mean, it's really fast. It's a fast verse, so I could get if it's like if a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying or whatever. A lot of times, if I'm listening to fast shit, I'm like just hearing the flows. You know what I mean? I'm hearing the syllables, but a lot of the times, like what the person's saying kind of goes over my head. And that's me, you know what I mean? I do this shit, so I can only imagine what like regular people hear or whatever. But if you really listen to the lyrics, I think it's good. I think it's one of
Yeah.
the best things I've written. So it's like I'm talking about like the Notebook. That's kind of what it's mainly about, like that notebook that I got. It's like my aunt for Christmas one year got me like a fucking it's like this it was like a girly ass notebook. It's like a little green like hardcover like it said like journal on it, and I was like, what the fuck is this for me? And like in the song I'm like it was a holiday gift, and I thought to myself, what I do to deserve this? I want a video game or a mini bike. You really don't have a clue what a kid would like. I want to do anything but just sit and write. It really doesn't seem worth it. But it's really fast. I'm like fucking holiday gift, and I thought to myself, what I do to deserve this? I want a video game and a mini bike. You really don't have a clue what a kid would like. I want to do anything but just sit and write. You know what I mean? Blah, blah. Bibbity 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 flows. But yeah, I really like that verse. And that's like the least played song on the album on the streaming sites. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is like in my mind one of the best ones, but whatever. People like what they like. You can't force people to listen to the shit that you like, you know. But
yeah, as well, it's not just the rapping I like in the album. The instrumentation as well is like really dope. You've got some nice like vocal melodies in there and some nice sax. I believe there's some
yeah,
sax in there. Quite a few horns and stuff. Some piano
yeah,
bits as well. Yeah, and I like when there's quite a few times in the album where it like slows down, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it's really
yeah.
dope. Really.
Well, there's like I do a ton of things where like a lot of my favorite rap albums, they'll like kind of transition from song to song. Like there's like like it roll like if you listen to it front to back, it's like it kind of never stops. And so I kind of tried to do that, like, or at least tried to make little interludes where it like ties all the songs together. But um, there are some like slow parts too. Like the song Victrola, there's the second half of it is like a chopped and screwed, like Texas style, like DJ
Yeah.
Screw thing. That's what I was trying to do at
You
least.
don't have
But
the Alabama accent or
yeah, exactly. Like all of y'all are actors, affluent and Aspen, actively adopting Alabama accents. That song's kind of cool too because like each like the first half, the fast part, and then the second half, each one of those, like I do I think it's I don't know if it's 4 bars or 8. I think it's 8 bars of like J alliteration on J, and then 4 or 8 bars alliteration on A, and then R, and then V. So I like spell my name through the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if people noticed that. More like rap nerd shit there,
Mm.
but uh, but yeah, I like that one for sure. That's kind of like I also did like a little chopped and screwed thing on at the end of Flow Stimulus, the previous album. There's like a hidden track at the end, but it's not on streaming sites. It's only on like the vinyl or the tapes and the CDs. But also there's a full album stream on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it is at the end of
Plug that where people can get that.
yeah, it's on my YouTube page. I think if you just go to YouTube and type Jarv Flow Stimulus full album, it would definitely pop up. And yeah, at the end of that, there's like silence for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then like the final like hidden track comes on, and it's like totally a chopped and screwed thing. It's pretty funny, dude. I fucking
I
love
love
that
when
stuff.
albums do that.
Yeah,
It's really dope.
yeah. I remember being a little kid and like listening to Nevermind by Nirvana, and like I remember working on like a school project. I was like doing some stupid fucking poster or something, and I thought the CD just ended. It's like they have one at the end where it goes for like fucking 10 or 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's like gun 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 gun. And it's like this fucking kind of for a little kid, I was like I would scare easily. I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was like some Satan shit going on in my stereo, dude. It literally I remember it scared the shit out of me. I was like first just the guitar made me jump, and then the fucking song itself. He's like, nah. I was like, fuck, dude. I feel like I'm gonna get possessed or something. Or like I would always think of, the movie The Ring,
Yeah.
where it's like, in 7 days you will die or whatever, like, because they watched the thing. I'd always be scared, like, I hear a song that I'm like some Satan shit or something. I'm like, either a ghost is gonna kill me in a week. I know it, dude. Like, I would always fall for, like, when it's like, you have to send this to 10 of your friends, or a ghost will visit you in your sleep and chop your dick off or something. I'd be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, totally.
I was an idiot, is what I'm trying to say.
I remember when I was a kid and I was looking like in the deep depths of the internet, and all of a sudden it was like some like Children of Bodom song came on with like loads of like dead bodies and stuff, and it said,
Yeah.
"We are coming after you" or something like that. And I shit myself. I thought, oh my god, like these evil spirits or something's gonna, So I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah, you immediately like go to a different video and like clear the history. You're like, maybe the ghost won't know if I clear my history.
Yeah.
Maybe the demon won't see.
So are you on tour at the moment?
Not at the moment, but in April, I'm on tour with my homies Little Stranger. We have a song called Red Rover together.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a banger. Shout out to those dudes. It's just a fucking US tour, so probably most of your people listening to this won't be able to go. But the first show that I'm on with them is in Atlanta, the ATL, and then we're going north. We're going as far north as like Burlington, Vermont, which is like my stomping grounds back in the day, and as far over as like there's I think the final show of the tour, or I don't know, we're playing in Denver, Colorado, so it's like Atlanta, Burlington, Vermont, as far over as Denver. I know we're playing like Chicago too, so kind of just around the East Coast / like Midwest. I don't know if Colorado is like counts as Midwest. It's kind of Southeast or Southwest a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You probably don't know. Do you know like states, like the U.S. geography shit? Like if someone tells you a state, do you know kind of where that is?
Roughly. Not as well as you, but yeah. Roughly.
Do you guys like learn that shit in school?
Yeah. We get taught. Yeah, I know. Yeah, obviously, like, to be honest, if I was to look it up, I would know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, even in the United States, I'll tell people, they're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Vermont," and they're like, "Oh, is that in Canada?" People are. It's insane how fucking stupid some people are. So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know shit about the UK. People could be like, "Oh, I'm from Manchester," or like fucking Scotland. That's like an island or something. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, basic.
I do. I know my
basic
European geography countries. I know countries. I recently, I'm such a fucking weirdo. Recently, I like got an app on my phone where I'm doing like, it's like a country like geography quiz thing, like a little, and I'm just like, I got the U.S. states down. It took me a little while, but I got them all down. But European geography is fairly easy. I could get at least like a 90%. Then I tried to do the African countries, and I was like, dude, this shit is hard as fuck. There's so many countries. It's crazy how many countries there are in Africa.
Yeah.
But
totally.
But I don't know anything about like cities or like how like provinces work in like in Europe and shit. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously I know like the East Coast, the West Coast, and the Midwest, and I mean basic. I know basic geography.
But you wouldn't be able to look at a U.S. map and like pick out states, you think?
I might try it. I'll try it. I'll get back to you on that.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, New England, like, so I'm from Vermont, which is New England, which is like where the U.S. was first like settled. That's where we were like, fuck you to the U.K. we were like, we're out. And, that's why there's all these states that are like really small, like clustered together. And then, and like you go to fucking Boston and the roads are like terrible. It's like all bunch of weird, fucked up, like the map is crazy. You know what I mean? Like once they got down to New York, they like figured it out a little better. It's like all the streets are squares. You know what I mean? Mostly.
Yeah.
But I know New England easily because I'm from there, so I know like what states are next to each other and shit. But when I'm trying to do like the Midwest, it's all just like squares. So I'm like, I don't know, like where the
Okay.
fuck is like where's Iowa? I don't fucking know. Where's Idaho? Like
Yeah.
that's the shit that's tough to me. But I don't know why the fuck I'm talking about geography, dude. I'm fucking
It's all good. Obviously
it's so
in
weird.
England's pretty easy. England and Scotland are pretty easy. It's like
Right,
uh
right.
yeah, like down south is London, and then you've got the southwest, which is like Bristol, and then you go further, you go into Wales. But
Yeah.
if you go the other way,
Isn't Wales? They have like a weird accent in Wales.
I am from Wales. You see, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's like strange. Yeah.
Yeah, and where I am just now, I'm in Yorkshire, so that's north. That's the north of England, so it's pretty
Mm.
easy, to be honest. In the UK, but obviously in
Is it
America,
easy to switch between countries, like going from Scotland to the
oh
UK?
yeah.
You have to like go through border patrol and shit.
I think I've literally I've been on the border and I've been like, bloop, I jumped from side to side, you know.
Yeah, you're like, "Ugh, ugh, ugh."
Yeah. Oh,
That's so weird
I'm in
because
England and Scotland at the moment. Woo.
to go from the US into like Canada or like Mexico, it's like kind of a it's kind of a process. Like there'll be a
Yeah,
big ass line of cars and like sometimes like you need a fucking passport and sometimes they'll let you go till they'll be like, all right, have a good time. But
yeah.
either way, they're gonna at least ask like, what's your business in Canada, or whatever. And sometimes they'll like fucking search your car and shit.
Okay.
But
Nah, none of that. Obviously, the UK are technically all still together, and I don't think there's border control in Wales. I'm not sure. I've only
hmm.
ever been on the train, and I don't remember them being any border control. But
Wait, is Scotland part of the UK? That's its own shit, right?
no, yeah, it's part of the UK, Scotland, and
Oh, it
England.
is. I didn't
But
know that. I didn't know that.
depending on who you speak to, it's controversial. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to
Um,
secede from the United
yeah.
Kingdom.
So it's a lot of politics and stuff. So it's
Oh, one thing I wanted to ask you is like, I'm always curious because like if I hear like at least like British accent,
mm,
like, obviously I can like know the distinction between like an Irish accent and a Scottish accent. You know what I mean? I can tell kind of the difference. But like and like Britain, I know like there's like the proper fucking bitch ass like posh accent and shit. But then there's like who the fuck are you? Like that shit is awesome to me.
yeah.
But I'm like, how do people view like American accents? Like obviously, you got your like Southern accent and shit, but like
Well,
Southern versus like New England accent, like Vermont accent is way different from like Massachusetts, which is like 2 hours away, which is way different from like New York, which is like 2 hours from fucking or 3 hours from Boston.
yeah.
So
Well,
I'm always
yeah.
wondering.
So I would say because of movies and media and everything, I think we're quite clued up on the different accents. I'm not. I'll be honest. Like with New England accent, that isn't one I'm really that familiar with. But like New York,
Yeah,
Boston, we obviously, you know,
especially being a rap fan, New York for sure.
yeah, California,
Yeah,
we know the different accents from there from watching it on the TV and watching
right.
it in films. Yeah,
Like
what was
a
your
Boston
question?
accent. Like if well, I was just saying like if you could know the distinction between them all, like or if we all like I'll watch a comedian from like Australia or some shit do a U.S. accent, and he's always just like, uh, my family, hi. You know what I mean? He's just like, hello, here I am. It's kind of always just this one like middle of the line thing, but like
Yeah, that happens a
Boston, they're
lot.
like my fucking father, dude, like oh dude, like fucking a kid,
Yeah.
or New York, like hey fucking pizza.
Yeah. It's like yeah, exactly like that. It's like yeah, it depends who you speak to because if you, I find if you speak to somebody who maybe haven't traveled as much and haven't met like people with different accents, they might not be able to do it as well. But if you
Right.
meet somebody who's moved around a lot and stuff, they'll know the difference. So it depends. Like you get some people who are like a bit more cultural than other people.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I'm sure like I'm sure there'll be like people in America who think like England are just it's just like Mary Poppins or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, hello, governor.
Hello,
Like that's
governor.
yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, but the thing that's different in the UK, for instance, you can literally go, I don't know, 20, 30 miles away and it'll be quite a completely different accent, you know, because
Yeah.
there's so many different towns and cities and stuff. Um, Especially I'm in Yorkshire, so it's quite a yeah, it's quite central to a lot of places. Even
Yeah.
in Scotland as well, you can travel like an hour and it'll be like a different accent between like
Like totally.
Dundee, Aberdeen, and Glasgow, Edinburgh. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's the
that
thing
that
about
shit
the
always
UK.
that always interests me. Like learning about that shit. Like I would watch. Remember, I went through a little spell. I was watching videos of like like a speech pathologist or something, like critiquing actors doing accents, like in
Yeah,
movies. You know what I mean? They're like, well, really, he did this wrong because really, people from this area, when they pronounce an S, they have their tongue like on the back of their teeth rather than you know what I mean, shit like that. Like
yeah,
that shit just really interests me. But being a fucking rap guy, I don't know. I've always like got a kick out of like doing impressions and shit like that. So
yeah.
so I've always thought accents were funny, but like
That's
when I remember being a little kid, and my friend Drew, he's like one of my funniest friends. But one of the first times I was chilling with him, we were like freestyling, and we were probably in like fifth grade. And I remember being like, I was like, freestyling Chinese, and he was like, wow, like obviously now people would be all offended by it, but it was I was loving it back in the day, and he was like
hilarious.
doing a shitty version of every. I could be like, do it, freestyle in a British accent, and he would do it, but it was like it sucked, but I thought it was the funniest thing of all time.
Yeah, yeah. I want to ask you, like, what's the craziest thing you've seen live at a live show?
One of my shows, or like what's the best show that I've seen?
Just the kind of craziest kind of. Do you have any stories? It can be your show. It can be kind of any show, or it can be both.
I mean, definitely the craziest shit at any show that I've been a part of was like I've toured with R.A. the Rugged Man a couple times, and that he's a fucking wild boy. But
Yeah,
we'd it's kind of funny the way this shit works out because like touring with him, like we not to like speak ill or anything like that, but we were always like running late a lot of the time, and so like we hit the stage kind of late sometimes, and the venues would have like a lot of venues have like curfews where they it's like sound ordinance shit, like city like law like legal shit where they can't like be going late like past a certain hour. So it'd be like 1 in the morning or something, and like Ari would just finish the song or something, and the sound guy's like, we have to shut you down, like it's the law, we can't keep going. But I think Ari like sometimes would think that they were like doing it to because they were mad at him, or I don't know what was going on, but he'd be like, or maybe he knew exactly what it was, but he's just like, fuck this, my fans came to see me, I'm finishing my fucking show, like fuck you, which is dope on some like hip hop shit. It's like fuck it, what the fuck, dude. Uh, and there were times where it like straight up almost like started a fucking riot almost. Like there was one time where it kind of happened where I don't know if it was because of some curfew shit or if it was because he maybe RA was like beefing with the sound guy or something. Like this mic sounds like fucking shit, or turn the fucking beat up. What the fuck are you doing over there? The sound guy's like, well, fuck you, and like I'm done, and like shuts the shit up, shuts the board off or something. But something happened where the opening act, I think was the one who like booked the show. This was in San Diego. I think the opening act booked the show, and the dude was like, for some reason, like talking shit in the crowd, like near the end of RA's. The act was like, "Fuck you, get off the fucking stage" or some shit like that, and like we just all like we were all on stage, me, RA,
Wait.
and like
Was
Afro.
Yeah, sorry, it cut out there. Can you just repeat that last bit? There was a guy in the crowd.
Yeah. So the opener, the dude who was rapping first was like in the crowd and was like talking shit. Like he was saying like fuck you, get off the stage or something because RA was like beefing with the sound guy or something like that. And me, RA, Afro, the homie Amiri, like at least the four of us were on stage. Oh, plus the DJ Brown Bum. We were all on stage and we were like, obviously we have RA's back. Like we're with him. Not that I'm a fucking scrawny. I ain't gonna do shit, but I'll try. but it was like straight up like close to being like a fucking riot, dude. It was crazy. And like I'm pretty sure like cops came and shit. Like that was pretty wild. And then on that same tour, the driver of our van got jumped by some guys at the hotel. He was like got like set up by some chick, and then he got fucking like sliced up. He got stabbed up and like had to get took away by the ambulance and shit. That shit was pretty
Who was
crazy.
this?
The driver of the van, like it was just some dude. He was from Compton. He was always like East Coast Crip cut, and he was always like Crip walking and shit. He was a fucking cool guy. He was a character, but really nice guy. But we got back from the show in Rochester, New York, and there were these like they were like busted looking chicks in the lobby. But I won't say his name, but he'd been drinking, and I mean we were all kind of buzzed, like chilling. And he was like, "I'm gonna spit game to these girls. I'm gonna see what's up with these chicks in the lobby." So me, a couple of the dudes went up to my room to just make beats because I had my machine. I was like, "Let's just fuck around with some beats and chill." And that dude and the kid Amiri went off with these two chicks to their room, and they said, I'm up in my room making beats, and all of a sudden I hear like boom, 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 boom on the door. I'm like, what the fuck? We open the door, it's Amiri, and he's like, yo, those girls, they set us up. Three dudes just tried to rob me and Jason. And I just said, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. But
I'll blank.
no, it really doesn't even matter. I don't think. I mean, I'm not saying his last name, and he didn't do anything wrong anyway. So what the fuck difference does it make? But I'm like, what the fuck? So we immediately like run down to the elevator because I was on the 7th floor, he was on like the 5th floor or something. So we take the elevator down, we get off, and like in a hotel, you get out where the elevators are, to be like a little opening, and there'll be like a table with some fake flowers and a phone and shit. The table's tipped over, the flowers are everywhere, the phone's off the hook. We run out into the hallway, and Jay's just standing in the middle of the hallway, like down a bit. He's looking at us. His whole side of his shirt is like, he was wearing this like light blue shirt. It's all soaked with blood. There's like blood coming down from his head. And he's just like, it's the funniest thing though. He's like standing, he's like, I'm dizzy, cuz. I'm dizzy, cuz. So we're like, oh fuck. So we get him down to the lobby. The hotel staff like calls fucking 911 and shit. And it turns out those girls were in their hotel room with the two guys. And the girls kept going like, we're hungry. We bring us to the vending machine and get us something to eat. Like, we want a drink. Bring us to the vending machine. We're like, all right. Eventually, like, all right, let's go. So they go to the vending machine, and apparently there was like 3 dudes waiting by the vending machines. And they were like, I think they probably were just like, give us your fucking money. And they're like, what? Fuck you. And one of the dudes had an empty Hennessy bottle, which that shit's like thick. That's like thick glass. That's like a fucking club, And he like bonked the dude Jason in the head with the Hennessy bottle. And then they just started fighting, I guess. Like, and him and Amiri are like, they're tough dudes. So they held their own and like fought the dudes off. And the dudes ran away and didn't get any money. But one of the dudes in the scuffle, I think they think he had like a box cutter. Cause it's like, it wasn't like a stab, but it was like a deep slice, like a gash. And it was like down the dude. Jason had like from here to like there. And like when we got him to the lobby and like look, like he lifted his shirt and showed us, I was like, holy fuck. I was like, It was like, dude, it was at least like probably 3/4 of an inch deep. And it was just like open. Like it looked like a fucking catcher's mitt. It was crazy. But then he got stitches at the hospital that night, and he drove the rest of the tour. Like he was driving the van the next day. Like he was a fucking G.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit was scary. Like when we were going down to like help to like get back to where Jason was, like taking the elevator down, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, dude, if those dudes are still there, I'm gonna get my fucking ass beat. I know it. I was like, I'm gonna fucking die tonight, dude. I was like, I can't just not go. I'll look like the biggest pussy of all time. I'm like, I gotta go. But it was intense.
Yeah, it sounds intense. I guess.
But when we got into the hallway, it was just Jason. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Sounds intense.
Yeah.
I can picture.
Because I'm like, I don't know if these motherfuckers got a gun. I don't know what the fuck's going. You know, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Like I guess like a bullet.
Yeah, sometimes when you're touring with a big entourage and that, you know, it's sometimes things like that can happen, can't they?
Right, and just like a different crew, you know what I mean? They're more like a little more like street dudes, you know what I mean? Like I'm from the woods. Like I'm just a fucking like rap nerd. I don't
me
really
too.
like.
I'm from the woods too, man.
Yeah, I don't really like get down like that too much, but
yeah. I guess it's like that kind of mentality.
But it's kind of, I mean, it's fun. It's interesting. I like, you know, it's cool. It's cool.
It mixes things up a bit, you know.
Yeah, I liked it. It was like the whole tour, like touring with them in general was fun. It was like a really cool experience, you know. Yeah. And also like, especially that was like early. That was like right when I put out like Jarvis Volume 1, my first shit, and like to be touring with RA, like one of my favorite rappers ever, like that quickly, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah. Actually, talk a bit more about linking up with him, because I remember that video that you did where I think you might have went round his place and he had the sword.
The sword, yeah.
Talk a bit more about linking up with RA.
Well, so he did the definition of a rap flow contest, and I got like in the top 5 in that. I don't know where I ended up, but that's how he first saw my shit. And I remember he sent me a message. He was like, "Oh, you killed it. That was really dope." And I was like, "Holy fuck!" He messaged me. But so that was that. And then a couple months later, I put out my song Escargot, and I remember I sent him the video on that of Escargot. I was like, "Yo, I was in your definition of a rap flow contest, and I was like, you told me that it was dope. So I figured I would send this your way too, just in case. Maybe you see it, maybe you don't." And then he ended up like sharing it on his Facebook. It was like, "This kid fucking killed this. What do you guys think?" or whatever. And then he messaged me and was like, "Yo, I would love for you to," because at that time he was like posting a lot of videos of like rappers just like in front of this big wall of DVDs, just like spitting verses or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, I would love for you to come to New York and do a rhyme for my YouTube channel." And I was like, "Bro, I'd fucking love to." And that was my first time going to New York too. Back in the day, that was like 2016, 2017, around there. But yeah, it just happened like that. It's funny in the video, like, or in the comments, people thought that I just like showed up at RA's house. Like they thought I was just a bunch of people were like, "That's so sick. RA would just let some dude in off the street." I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like what? People have some imagination, dude.
Yeah. And you were also you were on his podcast as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was dope. That was me and the kid Astro was on there. I think Mad Squabbles might have been on that episode. Rusty Jux was on that episode. He's the fucking man. Yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah.
It was an honor. Truly an honor.
Yeah. I want to ask you.
Since I lived in Brooklyn, I've chilled with RA a couple times. Like when he lives in Berlin now, but he like does most of his studio time like here in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And so like, sometimes if I see he's in New York, I'll be like, "What's up?" And he'll be like, "Hey, come through the studio," and we'll chill, and I'll record like some little ad libs or something if he needs me to. Or
cool.
Actually had a little recording session with him in my fucking bedroom studio a couple months ago, which was pretty dope. Him and Timbo King. I don't know if you know Timbo King, but yeah, he's on a lot of RA songs. But pretty great, pretty surreal. Even today, I've known RA for a long time, but it's like fucking hey, like RA's in my room recording raps. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, his All My Heroes were Dead album was ace. Yeah, definitely.
Bro, it's so fucking good. I love the song Life of the Party. That's my jam.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I'm actually going to see him in Manchester in a week or two in Manchester. He's doing a tour with Jedi Mind Tricks and Immortal Technique.
So, dude. That's fucking sick, man.
Yeah, great lineup.
Well, if you talk to him, tell him Jarv said hi. tell him you had me on your podcast and I said hi.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, will do. I want to ask you, what makes you a musical misfit?
I'd say that I make music that appeals to mostly 35-year-old men. That kind of makes me a musical misfit. But yeah. And I love the Misfits. They're musical.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I make the music that I like and fuck everything else. I hope you like it too, but if you don't, fuck you then. That's
yeah.
Well, not fuck you, but whatever. Dude, listen to what you want to listen to. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what. That's
although
what
I hope people buy the fucking record and stream the music so that I can keep making more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what hip hop's about, isn't it? It's just fuck you music.
Right. And that's what it's supposed to be. And then now everybody, it's all commercial and shit, and people making the same like algorithmically making music. Like, well, this is the sound that's selling now, so we better fucking. It's like, bro, come on, dude. But I get people. It's also a vehicle for a lot of people who are less fortunate than me. So I can't knock the hustle, But but I'm blessed to be in a place where I can be like, well, Granted, I worked my ass off. When I graduated high school, I worked in a fucking factory for 3 years and saved a shitload of money. But I lived at my parents' house, so I was able to save a lot of money. So that's where I was blessed. But I pay all my own fucking bills and everything now. I'm not some little bitch ass motherfucker like most of the people in Brooklyn. A bunch of little hipster motherfuckers with their obviously having their parents pay all their fucking rent.
Yeah.
While they pursue their art projects.
Oh, you might actually. It's funny. You might actually like this. I posted this today. Check out that. Can you see that?
Not really well.
Okay, it says hipster gets mad. His photo was used in article about how all hipsters look alike. Then finds out it wasn't him.
Oh yeah, that's fucking great, dude. Yeah, pretty much, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What can we expect from you in the future?
Well, I do have a couple songs coming out on this. This crew, the Loopholes.
Don't think so.
Producer crew. They're from Norway.
Oh, nice.
They're super fucking dope. I got a couple songs on their upcoming project, and they're some dope, really dope shit. It's LOOPHOLES, Loopholes. I don't know when that's gonna come out, but eventually. So there's that. I got an EP. My next shit I think I'm gonna put out is an EP, and it's like, hopefully I can get it out around like Halloween time this year, but we'll see. It's like a 7-song thing, and it's all like this one story. Like every song like is a story. It's like the most crazy shit I've ever written, but I still have some work to do for it. I want to do like a comic book to go with it and shit. I think that would be pretty tight. But yeah, it'll be that. Jarvage Volume 3 eventually will come out within a couple years. Yeah, I got an album that it's got a lot more like guitar shit. I play guitar too. I write some, silly little songs on guitar.
Okay.
I've always wanted to make a children's album. Maybe someday I'll do that under a different alias. We'll see. Who the fuck knows? Future's wide open. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, dope.
I think I will say I have for that tour that I got coming up with Little Stranger. I think they're going to be putting out an EP like around the time of the tour. and I have a song on that, which will be pretty dope. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna ask you a bit of a left field kind of question here. Are you all right for time?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
If your life expectancy suddenly increased to 500 years, would you live differently than you currently are?
I'd play a lot more video games.
Yeah.
For sure, dude. I love playing video games, but I always feel like such a fucking loser when I like spend like 5 hours playing a video game. I'm like, ah, god damn it. But yeah, I would be gaming out for sure.
What about if your life expectancy decreased and you only had 5 more years to live?
I'd probably that one's really tough because I'm like, would I work way harder than I do now to try to be like, I got to leave somewhat of a legacy. I got to get all this fucking music out now. You know,
Mm.
would I do that, or would I just be like, fuck it, I'm going to Hawaii? You know what I mean? What, like, I'm gonna learn how to surf, dude. That's really probably what I would do. I'd just be like, I'm just gonna fucking be a beach bum or something and skate and surf and like play guitar and just chill and fucking. I'd still be like writing raps and shit, but I'm like, I would either go hard, even like work harder than I do now, or I would just be like, I'm not working at all. You
Yeah.
know, it'd be one of the two.
Yeah.
But I probably would try not to just play video games all day because that is a waste of time. I would probably try to be like outside a lot and in the sun.
Yeah. For me, like, I think there's some people who have this idea in life, like, oh, if only I could just like chill on the beach and sit in the sun and not have to do anything. I don't know. Personally, I get really, really bored really fast. Like, I find like even when I like, take a holiday or whatever, I still want to like, I might chill for a little bit and then I'm like, well, I'll get my laptop out and do this or edit
Yeah.
something in there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty good at chilling. I can definitely just chill and like watch movies and shit. And if it wasn't for me feeling like a piece of shit, like not being productive, because I'm always like working towards goals. You know what I mean? I always
Yeah.
like have some shit that I should be doing.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die tomorrow, I'd be like, well, what the fuck? Who cares, dude? I'll fucking watch Pulp Fiction again, whatever.
I
Or
suppose,
like,
yeah,
or
true.
just chill on the beach and crush a fucking six pack. Why not, dude?
Yeah.
Stare at chicks' asses as they walk by.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Is the internet good, bad, or neutral?
I don't think it's. I mean, I think it's good and bad, but I don't know if I think it's neutral. I think it's like either good. I think it's both good and really good and really bad. But I don't think it's in the middle at all. I don't think anything about it's in the middle. Like, I don't think I would have I wouldn't be able to make a living from music without the internet, and
Mm.
I wouldn't know all that I know about like hip hop and shit without the internet.
Mm.
But then at the same time, the internet, like, being obsessed with like numbers and shit, it makes like me. I know it makes me like narcissistic and you know what I mean. People get like you get real competitive and you're always like, I don't know, you never satisfied. Like if you have to spend a lot of time on social media, which like for my job, what I do, like I have to be on social media. Like I don't really have a choice.
Mm.
So like naturally you get kind of this competitive thing and it's never enough, you know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like I have like 16,000 Instagram followers right now. I remember when I had like was trying to get 1,000 and I'm
Mm.
like, man, if I could get 1,000, that would be sick. And now I'm like, oh man, if I could get 25,000, that would be sick. I know once if I had 25,000, I'll be like, man, I need 50,000. It's like never enough.
Totally.
That's a product of the fucking internet, and I don't think that's good. And
Yeah.
also making everybody the same. I think that's why a lot of music is like fucking bland now and shit. It's like nobody's like trying new shit because it's like, no, I won't say nobody. Obviously, people are, but like the majority of shit is like just the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because people are like becoming the same person from like this collective like mindset.
Yeah. Like everybody just shares kind of like like, what is independent thought? Because everybody's just kind of mimicking what other people say, and is it
Right.
really their own independent thought? And that's because we are more connected with social media and the internet and YouTube and everything.
Right. And it makes everybody think that they're special. Like they have to speak out on every fucking issue. Like, there'll be like a fucking some school shooting or something, and somebody has to. It's like, bro, you don't need to issue a press release. It doesn't even involve you. Like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I get like if you're like whatever want stricter gun laws or some shit. I'm in America. This is shit that we deal with. I don't think you guys really deal with that stuff, but it is crazy out here with that. But it's still like, bro, you going online and like spazzing about like assault rifles on Twitter and saying anybody who has an assault rifle is like a fucking like a Nazi or something, whatever the fuck. People say crazy shit. I'm like, dude, why are you even saying this? Like, if it wasn't for Twitter, like, but also I think the social media is what makes kids lose their fucking minds and do horrible things. I don't know. I think it's mostly bad, but there is a lot of good. So
Yeah.
it's a really long way of saying that.
Yeah. And what you were saying about always wanting more followers and that, I guess it's part of the human psyche, just always wanting more and more.
Right.
Well, because I remember like my Facebook page almost Music Misfit Show Facebook page almost got to 1,000, and before like a few years ago I used to be like, yeah, if I could get to 1,000. And yeah, I understand what you're
Yeah. Once you get there, it's just like,
like.
well, what now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. It's just part of the human psyche, isn't it? Wanting more and more.
Right. It's like even like hiking a fucking mountain or something. You get to the top and then you're like, this is pretty. I guess I'll go back down now. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, but at least it's a nice
That's a healthy
activity to
thing.
get out there and hike a fucking mountain, but it's still like you do it and it's like, well, all right, this was cool. But
Yeah. Like I started Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, when I get to blue belt, oh yeah, that's gonna be
yeah,
insane. And I know when you get to blue belt, it'll be like, oh no, when I get to green or brown or whatever, it'll be like, that's when I made it.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's like the same thing with working out in any capacity. It's like you set like goals for the gym or something, but then it's not like you get to your goal and then you can just stop. You're like,
Yeah.
there it is, I'm done. It's like, no, you have to keep going. But at least it's rewarding because you feel good about yourself doing it. Whereas like social media, it rarely like makes you actually like feel good. It kind of just makes you feel bad mostly.
Yeah,
But I
just
need it to try to fucking sell records. So,
yeah.
but I mean, I
Um,
love like positive feedback and shit, or hearing people tell me like, "Oh, your music like helped me," and whatever. That makes it good. Like that makes me feel good. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
mostly just like refreshing the page to see if you how many more likes you got on the fucking video you just posted is like psychotic.
Yeah, totally.
But
If you
but
could
it's real shit. You know what I mean? I hate the way it's like an addiction. It becomes an addiction, and it's like fuck, dude. I want to just take like 6 months away from my phone, like delete every app except the GPS because I don't know where the fuck I'm going ever. So
yeah.
it'd be nice.
If you could create your society, what would you do different from the one we live in today?
Uh, everybody can only have 2 kids, and uh, I don't know, man. Fucking shit. It's tough. It's really tough. I'd probably, God damn, I don't know. That's really tough. I've never really thought about that. Like, would I get rid of the internet? But if you like, it would have to be a society where the internet never existed because you can't just take it away now. People go, it'll cause fucking chaos.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Freedom of speech, you know what I mean? Fucking, I don't know. I really don't know. Who the fuck knows? Like, what would I do? I don't know. Everybody, like, I mean, I think like the whole idea of like a commune is cool. but you need just a small amount of people. So like, I guess if I could build a new world, I would just have a small amount of people, and everybody like grows vegetables and shit.
Yeah,
I don't
grows
fucking
food.
grows food. You
Permaculture.
fucking have cow. One dude has cows. One dude's got sheep. One dude grows the tomatoes. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and all together we help each other out, and yeah, cool.
Right, right. And like, you don't have to get a job in a fucking factory or something, because it's like your work will be like tending to your cows, tending to your crops or whatever. And then at the end, we just pool resources together, and we all live a sustainable life. But obviously, everybody's inherently greedy. I guess to make a perfect world, you have to like rearrange how the fucking human brain works, because I think people are inherently like greedy and selfish and shit.
Mm.
You know, you'll get the dude who's growing the tomatoes, and he'll be like, okay, yeah, this is all my crop. This is my yield this year. But really, you look in his house, and he's got 7 baskets of tomatoes chilling in his fucking pantry. You know what I mean? He's like, they didn't fucking work for these. I fucking put in work on these tomatoes, dude. So I'll give them this amount, but I'm keeping some for me. You know, I get a little extra. That's naturally what would happen, I think. If
Yeah, that's another thing about being human, isn't it? Yeah, we've all got this like thing. Yeah,
right,
what is greed? Greed to somebody else is completely different to what their
right,
idea.
whether it's money or like food or items, whatever. Like, if you made a society without money, then it's like food is currency. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
I do love food. Like,
Yeah, me too. Straight
I
up.
I walk past a cupboard and I'm like, fat
Yeah, no
dog,
doubt. Pop-Tarts.
Oh man, Pop-Tarts were my shit back in the day. Anyway,
Bro.
it's
What's your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
I like the strawberry ones.
Oh, strawberry. That's like the generic one. That's like
Well,
this
actually, what was the brown marshmallow ones were pretty good as well.
marshmallow. What the hell? Jesus. You either went the standard flavor or like the OD flavor, dude.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got I'm all brown sugar cinnamon, dude. That's the one.
Okay.
Or cherry. Cherry's good.
See, in the
Some people
supermarket
hate cherry though.
in the supermarket in the UK, in the shelves we only got the standard ones. I
What the
know
fuck?
we have these American shops and they sell all like the different weird wacky flavors, but it's like twice, it's like 3 times more
Yeah.
expensive, so the
Yeah.
OG,
Damn.
the strawberry OG and the chocolate.
Yeah, that's your one. Raspberry's good too. The white frosting with just the red sprinkles. That one's good.
Yeah.
They got the wild berry, which is the purple with
Oh no,
the
that's the one I mean. That's the raspberry.
purple with the blue, or raspberry. The
Oh no, I'm on
white with
I'm,
just the red.
the white with the red I'm on about. That's strawberry, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's raspberry. Raspberry's fire.
Oh, that's my shit.
Strawberry is the one with like, it's got like green, yellow, and red sprinkles on white frosting. That shit is
Oh,
trash.
yeah. It's one of them. It's been a
Wow,
while since
bro.
I've had.
You got to go get back on your Pop-Tart game, dude. You're
Yeah,
fucking
but
up.
funnily enough, I'm actually cutting out sugar from tomorrow.
Wow, what a good
Like
guy, dude.
completely. Like I'm like a
I'm such a
sugar addict.
fucking moron with like nutrition stuff. I don't know. I don't even know what has sugar and what doesn't. I'm like, I don't know.
Everything,
Yeah, dude.
especially in the US. The
Yeah, no
sugar.
doubt, dude. We live a
Yeah.
life of excess, but it's pretty tight. Whatever, dude. I'm 130 pounds. I'll eat whatever the fuck I want.
You do
I get
right,
like
mate.
low blood sugar. I need to eat more sugar, dude. I put like mad salt and sugar. I got like, I'll feel faint if I don't, dude.
Fair.
I feel
Fair.
bad for fucking fat people though, dude. I'm like, God damn. You have to think
know.
before you eat a cheeseburger? That sucks.
I know.
I mean, the worst that it'll get for me is I'll like fucking get diarrhea or something. That's not the worst. That's not the end of the world. I'm like, yeah, I could eat this ice cream. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a little bellyache, but who cares? I'm not
Totally.
obese, but
Totally.
also I'm still in my 20s, so what the fuck? Give it 5 years, I'll be like, brr.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. It's like I didn't have a belly at all, and then I turned 30 like last week, and I look down, and
It's just within 1 week, it's just like,
yeah, it's just
God,
come
dude.
out. I'm like, what the fuck? That's part of the reason
Yeah,
I'm stopping sugar as well. I'm like, oh, this fat
bro,
boy's been stuffing
that's
his
good. You got to
face.
get ahead of it. You got to get ahead of it. Do you drink at all?
Not really. I don't really.
Well,
I
that's
have
good
the odd beer here and there. You know.
because that's a lot of sugar, right? Drinking
Yeah, yeah,
alcohol is a lot of sugar.
yeah,
That's my main vice, but I keep it only a couple days a week.
yeah. I go through stages in life. You know. Sometimes I'm like, um, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do this. You know. I used to like a smoke, but at the moment I'm kind of like
Like
pretty.
cigarettes
I know, like
or weed.
weed. Yeah.
Is that legal where you're at or no?
No, no, it's not. It's not legal, but it's kind of like no one.
Decriminalized a little bit or something?
I wouldn't say it's decriminalized, but just it's everywhere. Like you walk out on the street and you smell it everywhere. Everywhere you
Yeah.
go in in England, the UK, it's like yeah, it's worldwide. You know.
Yeah. I mean, in the US, like it's kind of like a state thing. So it's like some states, it's like totally legal. Like Vermont now, like in my town, like I said, there's one bar in my town now. Pretty much. Well, now there's kind of a couple, but there's no late night spot. There's no like late night spot in my town, but there's two weed dispensaries now,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And like it wasn't even long ago. It was like 10 years ago. I was in high school and like we'd be smoking weed all secretive, like spraying, putting eye drops in and like spraying fucking Axe body spray on
Yeah.
before you go into school or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
and like now it's like, well, fuck, I'm smoking weed here. Get out of my face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Like
New York's the same way too. I think.
it's gonna happen in the UK because obviously everything you guys do, we follow. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge fucking money grab for the government too. So it's like, why the fuck? That should have been happened like years ago. You know what I mean? Should have never been illegal. Obviously, it's fucking insane that it ever was. But
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
the power of propaganda, dude. People are stupid.
Yeah.
Believe anything you tell them.
Totally.
Like, oh, you smoke a joint and you'll fucking kill your brother. It's like, what?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least like in the US, that was like one of the reasons weed became illegal in like the 30s because this movie called Reefer Madness.
Yeah. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
But
So
it's like all it takes is you to smoke weed once and you're like, oh yeah, no. All this did was make me a little, at least me, I'm like, I just get anxious. I'm like, I'm hungry and I'm anxious.
yeah, me too. That's why I was like, oh, I think it's time. So I had my last smoke about in Amsterdam actually.
Oh, well, you got to do it there. You're in fucking Amsterdam. That's like the
Yeah,
standard, right?
I went there, played some gigs, and yeah, went to some coffee shops, and thought, yeah. And then afterwards, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a break, and I'm gonna see if I can go a year. I'm like, yeah, see if I can go like a year, just like
No,
completely,
no weed or no beer or all of it.
yeah, no weed or no beer, you know.
Wow, damn,
Um,
dude.
yeah. I mean,
That's fucking awesome.
yeah, I like also like every now and again some shroomies, now and again.
Well, they say that's got like mental benefits and shit these days. It's like
Yeah.
medicinal kind of.
But I'm a moderation guy, I like things in
Yeah,
moderation. I don't like anything to control me or
I'm
anything
the
that's
same
gonna
way, dude.
makes me less productive. I like to be productive. I like to write down my goals. I get the best feeling off like getting stuff done and yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely get like fucking drunk sometimes, but that's the extent of it. And when I'm out drink, I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna be productive tonight. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll waste the next day if you're all hungover, but uh, but normally I keep it pretty low key. Like if I go out for a night, I'll usually drink like, I'll have a couple beers, but I'm not usually going too hard. But once in a while, I'll tear it up.
Yeah.
But as far as like weed goes, yeah, I don't normally like. I'll only really smoke if I've been drinking, and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then I'll just get all crossfaded and like, why did I do that? Fuck. Like it's almost every time I smoke weed, I'm like, I wish I didn't do that. What the fuck? But um, I've never really like tripped super. Like I've done a little bit of mushrooms where things got a little bit wobbly, but
Yeah.
never like had any sort of fucking spiritual breakthrough or any shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I do think as far as drinking and stuff goes, like and like unhealthy activities, like Madlib,
Yeah.
like the Quasimodo album, the Unseen, that album.
I can't remember it. No, I'm not sure.
It's fire. That's one of my favorite albums. But there's a little beat interlude thing on it with like there's like a sample of a dude from some comedy show or something. And he's like some people. He's like, I'm gonna butcher this, but he's like, some people don't smoke, don't drink, they don't eat sugar, they don't eat salt, no butter, no lard. And he's like, you gonna feel like a damn fool laying on your deathbed dying from nothing. you know. So there is something to be said in my mind of like, well, you might as well live it up. What the fuck do I want to be 100 and like just shitting myself? Like I might as well. Who needs to live to be that? Like I'll be a fucking fossil, just like thank God I didn't drink for those years. Like I would rather be like 78 and be like, I feel pretty terrible, but I had fun.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think to be honest, me personally, I've had plenty of fun.
Right? Yeah, you're like, I'll take a break
for about 20 lifetimes, you know.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Especially my early 20s, I was like, oh, where's the after party? Wherever the fuck I am, you know, that's where the after party's
yeah,
at,
dude.
you know.
Yeah.
But now I've just hit 30, so I'm just more kind of focused on.
Well, you got to keep your body in shape and stuff, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, you got to cut loose once in a while.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's 100%. Important to tear it up here and there.
Yeah, I mean, festival season comes through in the summer, so yeah, I say I'm gonna go a year, but I reckon we'll see. Festival season, you know, it might be like after I've played gigs and stuff, it might be like, all right, cool,
right,
night off. Let's yeah,
right. And I mean, I totally get it if you like people who have like a drinking problem, quitting drinking, but like I'll see like people just getting sober for just to be healthy. Like I'm totally sober. I'm just trying to be healthy. And it's like at a certain point, I'm like, bro, have a beer. Like, what the fuck? That's like, you weirdo. Like, what the hell? But I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, I'm taking a year off. You know what I mean? But I'll see like a kid who's like 19 being in like, I'm going to AA meetings, and it's like, dude, you're just young and dumb. Just learn how to drink. Like, what the fuck? But I'm probably a fucking asshole. So what the hell?
I agree with you. That's the thing about nowadays. It's like it's really really cool to be like healthy and everything, isn't it? Back in the day,
right?
Especially like the 90s. Obviously, I was a kid in the 90s, so
yeah, same.
But I know like aunties and stuff who told me like general people were just like more unhealthy, and I guess people weren't
they didn't have the information that they have now.
Yeah, and I guess like people were more kind of chilled out and weren't as easily offended and stuff like that, you know, back then.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of everybody getting sober, I feel like for a lot of the people, fucking 3/4 of the reason they do it is so that they can make a post in 6 months on fucking Instagram and be like, it's been such an incredible journey. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck. But if somebody had an actual problem, then that's cool.
Yeah.
Good on you. But if you're just like, I got drunk once and threw up in the Uber and it was so embarrassing. I knew I had to change. It's like, oh God.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. But I'm cynical. I'm a fucking asshole. So what the hell?
For me, I'm an addict. You know, I love fucking anything that makes me feel good. I'm like, okay, I want it. I want more. Like if I smoke, like I don't just like, smoke. I'll like.
If we're blazing a pound.
Yeah, I'll be smoking like every day, and then I'll be like, a year has gone by, and I'm like, I don't think I've taken a day off, or you know what I mean. So
you're gonna have spent like fucking $5,000 on weed or more.
Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, drinks one I can kind of I can just do every so often. I can kind of drink every so often. To be honest, the year off is more. It's more for weed more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and my body's come up, you know.
Nice. Like you feel better, like sharper and shit.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I never like even when I was smoking weed a lot when I was younger, like I'm already like a fucking attention deficit case, you know what I mean? Like I would see my friends do it and like be productive.
mm,
And I'm like, how in the fuck are you doing? I smoke weed and I'm like done for the day. Like I can't like come back even when I'm like when I'm not high anymore. I'm like my brain's all
me
like
too.
fuzzy, you know. I'm like
Me
I
too.
can't even think like so.
Yeah.
Anytime I smoke weed, that's what I say. I normally only would do it if I like after I've been drinking because I'm like, well, whatever. I ain't trying to do shit anyways. I'm just kicking it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I've just thought of another question to ask you. Do you reckon you and Afro will get on a track together?
there's actually I think 2 songs with me and Afro together.
On his
There's
on your
one
album, his album?
not on my shit or his shit, but my homie Ben Buck has a song with him and me and Afro called Combos. Um and then there's one that group I
Sorry,
was
no,
talking
no,
about.
there is one. I have heard one. Sorry, I meant yeah, I do remember.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
is
and
there
then
any more?
there's this group called that group Loopholes. The one of the dudes from that group, his name's Type Raw.
Mm,
He's doing a he's a beat maker as well. He's doing a project with my beat maker homie from Vermont named SK,
mm.
and they have a song on that with me and Afro. But I don't know if I don't think that that's out yet. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but yeah. So we got some shit, but I've never like me and Afro have never like really talked about doing a song together. But I would love to. That's the homie. Like I would love to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure someday we'll get it in.
Yeah, he was he's a really nice guy. Yeah,
Yeah, he's the
he's been on the show as well, and yeah,
dope,
showed
dope.
mad respect, and yeah, with good vibes, just like yourself. You know, it's good because obviously, like, I'm a fan of both your music, and then to actually like interview you guys and see like your sound as well. It's just like it's cherry on top.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Hit
Well,
down
hey,
the
I'm
cherry.
honored, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. What you got planned? What you got much going on for the next week or so? Or
Well, I got a show in Florida on Saturday, so I'm flying out on Friday afternoon, and me and my buddy Nate Renmus, we're going down to Tampa. It's like I haven't been promoting the show because it's like these people's like party. They just have a party like here and there, and they pay very well, and it's gonna be dope. But so I haven't really been promoting it. I gotta ask them if it's like open to the public if people want to go, but until I ask that, I'm not gonna really say much about it. But that's what I've been this week. I've been kind of like working on my live set, like getting some little like finger drumming routines and shit, like with the new album songs. Because I hate to just go on stage and just like play the song and then just rap and then be like, "That's that one. Here's the next one." And like I like to do some little extra shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or like flip some of the songs in a slightly different way, or stuff like that. So I've been working really hard on my set, and I have to do an hour and a half, which is the longest set I've ever done. Normally, I've done an hour like a million times, but I don't think I've ever done a full 90-minute set. So
yeah,
want to make sure it's proper. You know what I mean? So I've been working hard on that, and then aside from that, I'm just getting ready for the tour in
great,
April. You
great.
know, yeah, kicking it.
Well, yeah. I hope it all goes well for you, and yeah, man, it's been great chatting to you. Definitely.
Hey, likewise, man. Thanks for having me on. I hope I can get out to fucking Scotland someday.
Yeah, cool. Well, if you're ever in the UK, hit me up. I've got a place you
Yeah,
can stay, and yeah,
fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, I have wanted to go out there. Like I've been talking to Alex DeLarge and George Fields about like doing a project with them, but I'm like, if we're gonna do it, I want to go to you guys and like be in the UK and like
yeah,
write the shit, like be there for the production and like what I mean, be a part of the whole thing rather than just like email.
yeah.
So
There is.
hopefully
Is
someday
he? Sorry, carry on.
I don't know whereabouts he is, but I just I hope to just spend like a month or two there at some point
I
within the
think
next
he's in
couple of years.
Bristol. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
in
that
South
that sounds
Bristol.
familiar. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's
Is that like a
maybe
city?
that's about that's maybe like 4 or 5 hours, 5 hours from here, roughly. That's
Word.
at the other side, the
Yeah,
UK.
that's
Yeah.
like the distance from Brooklyn to Vermont. That's like the
Okay.
distance I
Cool.
have to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, fuck yeah, dude. Maybe hopefully I'll see you someday. Or hopefully I'll just be on a fucking tour out there sometime and be
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
some shows.
Definitely. I'll keep an eye out. Definitely. Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Great. It'd
dude.
be
For
great to
sure.
see you on a tour out here and that. And
I hope so. That's the thing. It's like I'm too small time right now to like headline it myself. So it's just like I need somebody to take me along. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
yeah.
But,
All right, my man. Well, yeah. Thanks for being on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, I'm gonna stop recording now. I've realized
hell
it's
yeah,
been
bro.
recording for cool.
Five